in the Senate in October of 2002. You did give a speech opposing the war. But Senator Clinton's campaign will say, since you've been a senator, there's been no difference in your records. And other critics will say that you've not been a leader against the war. And they point to this. In July of 2004, Barack Obama, I'm not privy to Senate intelligence reports. What would I have done? I don't know in terms of how you would vote on the war. And then this. There's not much of a difference between my position on Iraq and George Bush's position at this stage. That was July of 2004. And this. I think there's some room for disagreement in that initial decision to vote for authorization of the war.
In case you missed it, this week there was a tragedy in Kansas. 10,000 people died. An entire town destroyed.
Well, the Democratic presidential candidate got one part right. An entire town was destroyed, but it was not 10,000 people that died. 12 people died.
Voted present on limiting the rights of victims of sexual abuse. Voted present time and time again.
What I didn't hear was an explanation for why over 100 times you voted present instead of yes or no when you had a choice to vote up or down.
Is these reports coming out that he bungled votes, that he pushed the wrong button. Have you seen this? And
no, he's not saying that, is he? He pushed the wrong button. He's saying that he pushed the wrong button?
At least 5 times during his 8 years in the state office, Obama cast a vote and then said he had hit the wrong button.
Now, in terms of accountability, Senator Obama, Senator Clinton on Sunday told me that the Obama campaign had been pushing this storyline. And true enough, your press secretary in South Carolina, 4 pages of alleged comments made by the Clinton people about the issue of race. In hindsight, do you regret pushing this story?
Well, not only in hindsight, but going forward.
Let me tell you something. For the first time in my adult lifetime, I'm really proud of my country. And not just because Barack has done well, but because
I will slow our development of future combat systems, and I will institute an independent Defense Priorities Board to ensure that the quadrennial defense review is not used to justify unnecessary spending.
But her dismissive point, and I hear it a lot from her dad, is that all I have to offer is words. Just words. We hold these truths to be self-evident.
Words don't matter. I have a dream. Just words. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. Just words. We have nothing to fear but fear itself. Just words. Just speeches.
I am not asking anybody to take a chance on me. I'm asking you to take a chance on your own aspirations.
I'm not just asking you to take a chance on me. I'm also asking you to take a chance on your own.
I haven't spent most of my life in politics, which most of you know. But I've spent enough time in Washington to know how much we need to change Washington.
I haven't spent a lot of time learning the ways of Washington. But I've been there long enough to know that the ways of Washington must change. I didn't just start criticizing unfair trade deals like NAFTA because I started running for president. I do it because I see what happens to communities when factories close down. I believe in the free market. I believe in capitalism. I believe in free trade. I am not worried about us being able to compete with anybody on earth with American workers.
We
We asked our senior investigative correspondent Lisa Myers to take a closer look at what did actually happen when Senator Obama had to weigh the concerns of citizens near a nuclear plant and the interests of one of his campaign contributors in what became something of a political lesson.
Godley, Illinois, in the shadow of one of Exelon Corporation's nuclear power plants.
This is Exelon's property line.
2 years ago, people here learned they'd never been told about a series of leaks from the plant over a decade. Leaks that sent radioactive material into nearby water supplies.
We were angry, we were frightened. You turn on your tap in the morning and you don't know if that water is safe to drink.
Though most of the leaks were below levels officially considered hazardous, residents argued they should have been notified. They turned to their freshman U.S. Senator, Barack Obama, for help. Obama, while on the campaign trail, talked about the results.
So the only nuclear legislation that I passed has been to make sure that the nuclear industry has to disclose whenever they admit anything that might be considered radioactive.
But activist citizens and others involved in the issue say that's not exactly what happened. A bill was passed by a Senate committee, but never became law. And some whom Obama tried to help say he compromised too much with corporate interests. Obama's initial bill said nuclear plants shall immediately notify federal, state, and local officials in the event of a leak. Under pressure from committee Republicans and industry lobbyists, that language was weakened to say the Nuclear Regulatory Commission shall consider requiring plants to provide timely notice.
It didn't have any of the teeth, that were in the original drafts of the bill. And I think that was a disappointment for us.
However, it wasn't a disappointment to Exelon, one of the largest employers in Illinois. Exelon officials and workers are Obama's fourth largest contributor, donating $269,000 to his congressional and presidential campaign.
The facts are this. This is somebody who was active in politics in Illinois, who I knew. Nobody had any indications that he was engaging in wrongdoing. He was somebody who I knew and had been a supporter for many years. He was somebody who had supported a wide range of candidates all throughout Illinois. Nobody had an inkling that he was involved in any problems.
Senator Obama told one newspaper that he knew Resco was under investigation at the time. But the Washington Post says Obama told them he had no idea of Resco's brewing troubles.
One of her passions, public service work, led her to leave what could have been a lucrative career in law for public service. But making lots of money was never her goal. Within months after her husband was sworn in as U.S. Senator, Michelle Obama received a pay increase of $195,000 from the not-for-profit hospital where she works. At the same time, she was put on the board of directors of Treehouse and Bay Valley Foods, where between her compensation as a part-time director and profits from her stock options have put another $100,000 into her pockets. Barack Obama tells us he's fighting to make health care more affordable. He didn't tell us that his wife is one of 13 vice presidents at a not-for-profit hospital that in 2005 reported earnings of over $100 million, in part by charging uninsured minorities 3.5 times as much as whites with insurance for the exact same care. In July of 2006, Senator Obama told a group of college activists, "You'll have boundless opportunities when you graduate, and it's very easy to just take that diploma, forget about all this progressive politics stuff, and go chasing after the big house and the large salary." What he told the Chicago Sun-Times only after an embarrassing investigation into the purchase of his stately $1.65 million mansion. U.S. Senator Barack Obama expressed regret late Friday for his 2005 land purchase from now-indicted political fundraiser Antoine Tony Resco. He tells a union group that opposes the amount of compensation paid to the CEO of Walmart that there is a moral responsibility to stand up and fight for a better economic future with adequate wages, health care, and retirement benefits. In 2005, the CEO of Walmart received $10.5 million in total compensation. What he didn't tell the union members was in that same year, the CEO of Treehouse Foods received $26 million in total compensation, a company whose revenues were 409 times less than Walmart's. Maybe because he's embarrassed over the fact his wife sits on the board of directors of Treehouse Foods, a company that shut a plant in 2006 which was staffed primarily by low-paid Hispanics.